Hi there, my name is Bobby Walters Carlson, and I'm going to tell you all about Frog Street curriculum. During my curriculum planning cycle, I learned what Frog Street is. Frog Street is an early childhood curriculum designed for infants, toddlers, and preschoolers. It supports the whole child development. That means learning from all stages. It uses structured daily routines and intentional teaching strategies that help lesson planning be a little bit easier for teachers. Its main focuses are on social, emotional skills, language and literacy, and cognitive development. Now, a little background of Frog Street. It was developed by early childhood education experts, research-based and aligned with early learning standards for children. It's typically used in preschool and childcare settings, but it can sometimes surface with young elementary school age kids, depending on their environment. Designed to support children reach school readiness. So this is the main creator of Frog Street. She has a PhD in childhood education. She's worked not only as a teacher, administrator, but also a curriculum developer. And this is one of the curriculums that she had a hand in developing. She did not develop this fully on her own, but Dr. Pam Skullhill, she is the main leader of this teaching style. So some goals of this curriculum style is that children develop social and emotional skills. Children build language and communication abilities. Children will strengthen problem solving and thinking skills. Children will learn through play, movement, and exploration. So a big part of Frog Street is that it's a part of hands-on learning. They learn through experience. So although we have a curriculum and it's teacher-led, the whole learning activities are based on experience that meet all of these goals. So there's a variety of ways to approach this curriculum strategy. I've listed here that teachers will guide instruction and children will lead the learning. So what that kind of means is, like I had mentioned, the teacher will instruct an activity. She'll introduce it, tell them what the expectations are, and then the teacher actually will allow the children to experience it and interact with this. Big part of this is that it can be a part of interactive play, hands-on activities, like I mentioned, the use of music and songs, movement. But a key factor of Frog Street is that while these interactions are happening among students, that the teacher is always observing them, taking notes, so that way she can plan for future activities and notice each child's strengths and weaknesses, things that needed to be worked on. So once again, like I had mentioned, this curriculum supports individual instruction. So what that means is that the children do lead the activities, and while the teacher is observing, these activities can be adapted for the future to fit their unique needs and different multiple intelligences, because each child learns differently. It is also a part of DAP, developmentally appropriate practice. So each thing that the child or the students are exposed to is developmentally appropriate for their age range, what they've learned so far. So that way they're able to scaffold their learning. They can build upon it. Once again, this is all through hands-on activities, motion activities, and social and emotional activities. So children will rely on each other to kind of mirror what is expected, as well as the teacher. So individualization of children's interests. This is also a great way to observe what interests the child. And that way, for the rest of the unit, you can kind of gauge, okay, maybe the class is really interested in frogs in this unit, and not so much insects. So how can we build up that interest? Once again, it focuses on the strength of the child's individual needs. So if they are more of a kinesthetic learner, so they learn through movement, we can incorporate a frog hop activity or anything of that sort. So the roles of the teacher are to incorporate children's interests into the lesson, encourage active participation, and provide choices during activities. So that way we can learn what their multiple intelligence and strengths and weaknesses really are. So assessment methods, ways to, other than just observing how they respond to the activity, but ways to assess like their understanding of each activity as it passes. So once again, observation-based evaluation rather than formal testing. So teachers will gather information through notes, checklists, and daily observations to better understand each child's development. These assessments emphasize children's growth, progress, participation, and engagement, allowing teachers to support learning in a way that is appropriate and meaningful for young children. So, yes, we will be observing them in this method, but also we're going to bring it out as a group. We're going to discuss it. What did you like about the lesson? What did you not like about the activity today? And see what they say. We want that feedback using this curriculum method. So a key thing within this method is also the roles and expectations. How can we best support the class where this method will work? So children, we need them to be active learners. So participation is key. And then teachers, we're going to guide, support that learning so that way they can strengthen maybe those more tough areas. So we all feel like a team. And children grow best in environments where they feel safe and not judged. So, but this method goes deeper than just inside the classroom. It also will go outside of the classroom, because when families and parents are able to carry out what has been taught throughout the day, the child will be able to grow on a variety of different levels. So if a parent is supporting learning at home, asking questions and wanting that feedback, asking them, hey, let me give you choices today when you get dressed. Do you like the yellow dress or the pink dress? This is great ways for the child to grow even more in that social and emotional learning, and build up their confidence. So when they enter the classroom, they are ready to learn, they're excited to try new things, and it just carries out that routine. So how is Frog Street useful? Well, it forms foundational skills and preparedness for typically kindergarten, but this method can be used all throughout elementary school, usually combined with a different learning style too, but it's great to build up that classroom engagement. So you have those fun activities and you have a sense of routine and structure. So knowledge from the child. During Frog Street song activity, a child participated but had a difficulty had difficulty following the movements. So this is a great learning opportunity. They can observe peers, they can observe their teacher, and that way they can understand the expectations just a little bit better. And once again, this is more about creating a very welcoming, supportive environment. So we have the graphic organizer here, and what my planning cycle would look like. So we'll observe the children, plan activities that fit into Frog Street, and teach using songs, stories, and play, very hands-on activities. We'll assess through observation, and we'll reflect and adjust instruction as needed. So here's the reflection on the theory. Frog Street is supported by key learning or key early childhood education theories, and so it's highly supported by different young childhood instructors, and it advocates for appropriate practice. So making connections with children. Why is it important? Well, once again, like I had mentioned, it really increases a positive environment for children to learn when they feel comfortable to participate in activities. They can follow objectives and directions more clearly when they feel like they have a good support system. So teaching strategies. Once again, all of these are methods that are very hands-on based, but they include a variety of the multiple intelligences, not just one specific. So here is my reflection. As a future teacher, I can see myself using the Frog Street method because I do prefer to work with the younger kiddos. Ideally, I would like to teach first or second grade. And so although this method is best used in preschool, I'm a past preschool teacher, so I can see the benefits of creating this environment and supporting it through another theory as well. So that way students feel very emotionally connected. They feel that they have structure when they come into my class every day, and I love the flexibility of this curriculum style because we can adjust based on the classroom needs. And since every child is different, and every year when you receive a new set of kids, it's going to be different, that I get to grow with them and I get to learn from them through using this method. Here are my references. If you want to learn more about Frog Street, just click them right here. And thank you so much for listening to my presentation. I hope you have a good day.